I want you to take a minute right now to look away from this screen to whatever's around you. Whether you're inside, outside, alone, or with other people, doesn't matter. But where are you right now? And what do you notice about the physical space around you? Right now, of course, in that place, you're taking in a church service there. But my guess is that what we're doing right now isn't typically the kind of thing that happens in that place for the other 168 hours of the week, right? So what does? Take another minute and look around again, but this time, think about what more typically happens there throughout the rest of the week. What part of life happens in that place? How does life get lived there? What goes on? Who comes? Who goes? Do people interact? What do they do when they're there? How does time get spent in that space? It's funny, we really can pray anywhere, anytime about anything. I'm a huge proponent of that. God is not limited by space or time, and our prayer life doesn't need to be either. And yet, there can also sometimes be something especially poignant or powerful about praying specific things in specific places. I can pray for my kids anytime, anywhere, and yet, if I go into their actual rooms to pray, it just does get a little different. It hits a different depth for me, in me probably. You can pray for the poor, the oppressed, the marginalized from your own backyard or your desk at lunch, anywhere. But if you actually go into a neighborhood where oppression and injustice are the daily lived experience, and you let yourself see and feel that as you pray, it really can do something different in us. And so right now, since you are in whatever place you're in, let's all just spend a minute praying personally for whatever the pocket of life is that typically goes on in that place. If you're in your bedroom, maybe you want to pray about rest. If you're in the kitchen, maybe the nourishment and gathering of your family. Are you in a room where arguments tend to happen? How can you pray about that? Are there things that have taken place in that space over the course of this past week that could maybe use some prayer? Or are there moments or events upcoming, maybe things you want to have happen in that place for the week ahead that it would be good to just consciously bring into God right now? Let's take a bit of time to just pray personally, but experiment with the idea of letting the space you're in mean something as you enter into that conversation with God. God, we thank you that you can be found everywhere in the spaces around us. Pray that you would continually make us more sensitive to where you are and what you're doing. Pray that you would show us how to bring our full hearts, our full selves to the spaces, to the places around us, most importantly to the people around us. We thank you that you cover and you hold every moment of our lives. Would you give us trust in that? Thank you that you are goodness everywhere all the time. And we love you, God. Amen.